Dallas has not won a road game in Seattle since 2014. Let that sit for a second. An entire era of football has come and gone. Coaches hired and fired, quarterbacks drafted and retired, whole rosters torn down and rebuilt. And in all that time, the Dallas Cowboys have not walked out of this city with a win. And now they've got to come into Lumen Field in Week 13 on Monday Night Football, under the lights, in front of the loudest building in the National Football League, and try to break that streak against the defending Super Bowl champions. Good luck with that. What's up, Seahawks Nation? Victor here, and welcome back to Seahawks We're Here, the home of the champs, because that's what we are now. Say it out loud because I still get chills. The Seattle Seahawks are the defending Super Bowl champions. That trophy lives here. That parade happened. That confetti fell on our city. And if you thought the championship was the end of the story, think again. Because the 2026 season is coming, and the entire National Football League is already looking up at us asking one question: can they do it again? Repeat. That's the hardest word in professional football. Everybody wants to win one. Almost nobody wins 2 in a row. Because when you win it all, the whole league changes how it plays you. No easy weeks. No opponent who's tired or flat or looking past you. Every Sunday, somebody circles your name and treats it like their playoff game. That's the tax you pay for being the champ. And you know what? Good, bring it. Because this isn't the Seahawks team from years ago that people still argue about on sports talk radio. This is Mike McDonald's Seahawks. This is a football team that just won a Super Bowl with one of the most intimidating defenses in the sport. A running game that punches you in the mouth for 4 quarters. And an offense that can absolutely take the roof off a building when the moment gets big. That's who Dallas has to deal with in Week 13. And listen, I love talking about this matchup. Cowboys fans are already looking at this game as a massive test, and they should. Their schedule has tough games on it, but this one is different. This is a road trip across the entire country, into the Pacific Northwest in December at night, into a stadium that has been ruining road team seasons for over a decade. So let me ask the question straight up. Are the Cowboys actually ready to walk into Lumen Field and face the defending champions? Because history says they've got a problem. And I don't think one off-season of hype fixes a 12-year problem. Now, over the next few minutes, we're breaking down everything surrounding this Dallas-Seattle matchup. The players Seattle lost this offseason, the players we brought back and locked up, the draft class and who makes an immediate impact, the coaching changes, the new offensive coordinator, and what that means for how this offense actually looks on the field. And the big one, the running back situation after Kenneth Walker's departure, because that's the conversation I keep seeing in the comments, and we're hitting it head on. Plus, why this could be one of the single biggest tests on Dallas's entire schedule. Not just a game they might lose, but a game that could define their season. But before we roll, Seahawks fans, do me a favor. Smash that like button. If you believe this team can defend the championship, if you believe we're running it back, hit like right now and let me see it. Subscribe and help us keep growing this community, because Seahawks We're Here is built by you guys, not by me. And share this video. Send it to one other Seahawks fan, drop it in the group chat, put it in the family text thread. Every like, every comment, every share puts this in front of another member of the 12s. I want to see Seahawks Nation everywhere before this season kicks off. Everywhere. Nothing but blue and green. All right. Now, before the Cowboys breakdown, I want you to hear something. ESPN just did their NFC West predictions, and I need you to hear how they talk about our division now that we're the champs. Roll it. I'll meet you on the other side. ESPN clip plays. Okay. Let me pull out the parts that matter. First thing, and this is the part I want you to really hear. They called the NFC West the toughest division in football. Not one of the tough ones, the toughest. And they're not wrong. The defending Super Bowl champion Seahawks, A Rams team that is absolutely loaded. A 49ers roster stacked with Pro Bowl and All-Pro talent when they can keep those guys upright. And an Arizona team everybody's writing off in fourth. 4 teams, 1 division, and the champs sit on top of it. That's the reality now. Start at the bottom with Arizona. The take was Cardinals finish last, and the reasoning was fair. This is basically a rebuild year for Mike LaFleur as the new head coach, and he's taking on play-calling duties on top of that. That's a lot of hats for one guy in year 1. They do have pieces. Trey McBride is a perennial all-pro tight end. That man is a problem not up for debate. Marvin Harrison Jr. and Michael Wilson on the outside, and they drafted Jeremiah Love to be that explosive back out of the backfield. On paper, there's talent. But the question they kept coming back to is the secondary. A lot of those defensive backs got hurt last season, and now they're coming back from major injuries into a brand new system. Rough combination. And their schedule? Weeks 1 through 10, 7 of those opponents were playoff teams last year. 7. Throw the Lions and the Cowboys on top of that, and that's not a schedule. That's a gauntlet. To be fair, their back half sets up nicer. 6 of their first 9 are on the road, and the home games come late. So expect a slow start and a stronger finish. But the real question is the one Cardinals fans don't want to hear. Who is the quarterback of the future? Jacoby Brissett, Carson Beck, or somebody they draft next April? They put up 33-30 in the Hall of Fame game, and Beck was slinging it. Cool. That's August football in a vanilla playbook. I'm not moving my expectations off of that. Then the 49ers at 3rd, and that injury list is hard to even listen to. Ricky Pearsall, former first-round pick, out for the season. George Kittle coming back off a ruptured Achilles. Mike Evans, quad strain. Christian Kirk, calf strain. That's supposed to be your top 3 receivers, all 3 unavailable. Nick Bosa pulled out with soreness coming off the knee. And Kyle Shanahan himself in concussion protocol after that car accident earlier in the year. Here's the number that made me sit up. 20 players out one weekend into training camp. 20. That's not bad luck anymore. That's a pattern. And soft tissue injuries linger. When you come back from one, you've got to rebuild trust in your own body before you can play fast again. Then their reward for all that? Week 1, they fly to Australia to play a division opponent in the Rams, then Mexico later on. Frequent flyer members before they've played a home game. And I'll be fair, instead of just talking trash, Shanahan is one of the sharpest offensive minds in this sport. And if he's holding a play sheet, that offense is dangerous. But scheme doesn't tackle, and scheme doesn't stay healthy. When your receiver room is on the shelf and your offensive draft picks haven't hit, that pressure lands on the front office. And then the Rams at number 2, and Seahawks fans, do not sleep on that. I don't care what anybody says about them being old or being lucky. That team is dangerous, they're well coached, and they will be there in December. Which brings me all the way back to where we started. Because here's what all that ESPN talk really tells you. Everybody in this division has a question mark. Arizona doesn't know who's playing quarterback. San Francisco doesn't know who's going to be healthy. The Rams have to prove they can hang with a champion. And the Seahawks have the answer already. It's in the trophy case. So when Dallas circles Week 13 on their calendar and starts telling everybody how ready they are, understand exactly what they're walking into. They're not just playing a good team. They're playing the champs in the loudest stadium in the league, on national television, on a Monday night, in a division that beats teams up every single week and produced the last team standing 12 years, Dallas. 12 years since you won here. And you're going to break that this season. Against this defense? With this crowd? I'll believe it when I see it. And I don't think I'm gonna see it. That's the setup. Now let's get into the roster. Who left, who came back, what this draft class gives us, and what this offense looks like with a new coordinator calling it. The repeat starts with the details, and we're going through all of them. Drop it in the comments. What's your score prediction for Week 13? Cowboys fans, you're welcome too. Come tell me why this year is different. And if you're new here, you're in the right place all season long. This is Seahawks Were